Generating new B2B customers can be extremely challenging. It's really hard to get the attention of business owners and executives at companies. And so in this video, I want to show you how to generate and nurture B2B prospects and get clients. My name is Patrick Spielman. I'm the founder of Uptics, and I'm going to show you a process and flow chart here to generate new B2B customers with a framework that we've used very successfully. So without further ado, let's get into it. So in this flow chart, I have mapped out several different channels of basically outbound B2B prospecting or paid advertising. So I'm going to walk you through each one and then bring you through kind of each of the steps within each one. I'm not going to get too granular in terms of all the data and the numbers that I have mapped out here. I'll go over some high level stuff, but I just kind of want to show you the process that you need to think about. And maybe it'll help you map out your conversions and then give you some ideas in terms of the channels and marketing and sales that you could be doing to generate and nurture leads. I've got all our platforms mapped out and where we generate B2B leads. There's a lot more than this, but this is kind of the top ones that you want to be using. And then I've mapped out some systems that you could also be using for this and even tools within those systems. And then I'm going to go into a series of actions, of course, that you need to take in order to generate your B2B, customers and stuff like that, and go through basically your funnel metrics. Again, I'm not going to go through all these all at the same time. Leave a comment down below in the video and let me know if you want access to it, and I can certainly get you access to it. So let me walk through the main platforms. So first of all, if you're in B2B and you're not using LinkedIn, I would highly suggest it. You may be in a rare case, a type of business that perhaps your prospects aren't on LinkedIn as much, but by and large, for the most part, you want to be using LinkedIn. Obviously, you want to be using email. And one of the things with email, people can do a lot of different things wrong. Obviously, landing in spam is a concern. And one thing that people do wrong through email a lot of times is try to sell a little bit too much. I like to use email more in the middle of the funnel. I want to capture my attention in other places, maybe through LinkedIn or paid advertising, and then use email to nurture and stay top of mind. You should be using video. This isn't necessarily a platform per se, because we use video in our marketing funnels, and we use video in our outbound prospecting within LinkedIn and within email to help capture and generate attention. But it is a piece that we like to generate in terms of getting attention in our funnels. And obviously you've got your phone. So you've got SMS, you've got cold calling, you got warm calling, you got hot calling. And obviously, it's a good method. It's a tried and true way to get customers, but it is really manual. And so ideally what you're doing with all these platforms is you're using data and helping you dictate when you need to use the phone so that you're not relying on it necessarily solely just for generating your leads. And then next and last, we've got paid advertising in this whole mix, whether it be Facebook, LinkedIn, Google. Obviously, this is setting up a funnel and then driving people through a specific process, generating some leads, retargeting those leads on these other methods. And then, of course, you've got your retargeting. You always want to be retargeting in each one of these platforms through some medium, whether it's email, whether it's serving them another ad, whether it's a manual outreach. If you can nurture and follow up with your leads as much as possible and stay top of mind, because a lot of people aren't ready to make a buying decision when they're introduced to your service. Staying top of mind with them is really important, because eventually you're going to get an opportunity to work with them. So those are the main platforms and main channels. Let me walk you through some of the systems we use. Of course, so within LinkedIn, you could use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So it's a paid subscription, but you get access to a lot more data, and you can contact people directly without being connections with them, and do a whole host of other things in terms of some automation and whatnot. And from there, you want to build targeted lead lists. So once you get into Sales Navigator, you can filter the leads and contacts, by a lot of different triggers, industry, job title, a whole bunch of things. But you want to start with building your lead list, and you want to use some sort of automation. I say this cautiously because you don't want to come off spammy, and you want to be as relevant as possible to your prospect. So some sort of automation, maybe it's just being able to save those leads or get those leads into a sales automation tool to, put them into a workflow to just keep yourself more organized, because you can get access to a lot of data. I'm not necessarily a huge fan of just putting them into just automating and sending the same message and same connection message and same messages over and over and over again. The more relevant to your prospect in terms of what you're reaching out to them about, the more success that you're probably going to have. So try to find that balance of automation and kind of manual workflow and being able to do things, at scale, but maximizing your potential conversions by being as specific to that lead or that person as you possibly can. From here, you can collect emails and data, as I mentioned, when you're building your lead list, get them into your CRM or sales automation. If you're not using Uptics, I would definitely encourage you to check us out. There's a link down below, and you can utilize our Chrome extension, our sales automation process to help you stay really, really productive. But that's for another video. So I would shoot for doing about at least 1,600 connections in a month. And that strategy is going to, if you convert 22.5% of those, you're going to basically retarget about 360 people with some sort of follow-up message. And if you are conservatively targeting like a 2% conversion rate, you should be able to generate, over 5 sales appointments per month. And that's really, really low. That's taking really low conversion rates. Again, if you're doing really, really hyper-targeted outreach to your potential customers and your prospects, you're going to convert a lot higher. This is a worst case scenario if you're purely using automation. You should be able to hit 3 or 4 times this if you're doing things right. From there, if you convert, 65% of those actually show up to a meeting, you're looking at 3.5 meetings. And if you convert 25% of those into a paying customer, you're looking at a new paying customer every single month just through that one channel. And again, this is a really conservative estimate based on data that I've collected in the past. So, use this and make sure that, you're doing things to optimize your process in each step of the funnel. And the biggest thing you can do is top of funnel, be as relevant and specific to your contact as you possibly can. And from there, you want to make sure your copy is optimized throughout the way and you're nurturing your customer all the way down through that funnel. And if you want access to this document, drop a comment down below, like this video, subscribe to our channel, smash that notification bell, and let us know if you want this template. So the next process is email. So again, email is going to be a little bit more mid-funnel. It's going to be a little bit more nurturing. So again, you're going to want to use a CRM for this, of course, or sales automation tool like Uptics. You need to segment your list. You want to have obviously your automations built into the process. If you send 400 direct emails, and you probably could be sending a lot more, but you don't want to overwhelm people too much, because you want this is actually kind of stemming from just your LinkedIn outreach. Okay. So those people that, you're getting second messages and stuff with, you want to put them into some sort of filter or a campaign with email as well. It's a best practice to make sure to ask for permission and to get that. In addition, you're going to be able to retarget your paid advertising and stuff like that through email. So this is just going to map out some of the data, and I got some numbers here again. So basically, long story short, I'm baking in and building in, your attrition every step of the way, and kind of coming up with, a total calculation in terms of how many customers and clients you could probably get. Again, this whole process is kind of built for more high ticket. If you're a higher volume, less friction type business, you could probably see your conversions much, much higher than this. These are just illustration purposes and to help you map out each of these numbers, but you could update them to your use case and figure out how many customers per month by using each one of these channels. The next one is video. So when I talk about video, if you're a VP of sales or a sales manager or even a sales professional of some sort, I'm really talking about what I call video prospecting. And that's essentially just doing a one-on-one video with a screen capture and a webcam of you introducing yourself. Maybe you pull up their LinkedIn profile or their website and just do some really one-to-one targeted outbound with them, it's going to capture their attention, and you're going to see some really, really awesome replies from people that really love the hustle and love the unique approach that you're taking by doing that one-to-one video. It's really effective. A tool I've used in the past is Soapbox. Currently, I'm using Hippo Video, but there's other tools out there, a lot more. There's Vidyard. There's a whole bunch of other ones. So use whatever tool you want for screen capturing and webcam video recording, and they all are going to pretty much do the same for you in terms of recording. From there, you've got your targeted lead lists, of course, and you want to deploy these videos on LinkedIn and email. So once you create that video, you want to send these out to your prospects, either LinkedIn or email, and you're going to want to include a little bit of sales copy. And one thing to note about LinkedIn is, unless you have an integration with the video platform you're using and LinkedIn or LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you're not going to be able to embed a thumbnail into that message. So it's usually going to come through as just a URL, depending on, again, if you have an integration with your video platform and Sales Navigator. Otherwise, email, you want to definitely embed a thumbnail into the email so it comes up as an image when you send the email, and your prospect is going to be a lot more inclined to click that and actually watch the video. And if you're tracking things properly, you're going to actually get notifications within your sales automation platform when somebody clicks a link. So you're going to know when exactly they watch the video. You should be able to, as a sales rep, if you're time blocking appropriately, you should be able to do 400 videos a month. And we do see with proper follow-up in this process, which once you send that video and it's that one-to-one targeted video, you're going to be able to automate your follow-ups a lot easier. That's a part in the process that you can really maximize your time. Once that video is created, you can use a sequence of emails to follow up with them. We do see video prospecting conversions convert really, really good in terms of your outbound methods, better than using the phone a lot of times, and better than just cold email. And so if you do 400 of these properly, you're gonna get 20 people that are going to be interested in a meeting with you. And then of course, adjusting for drop off through your funnel, you're going to see a really, really good conversion rate by using video in your process. The last one, of course, is the last one in terms of outbound specifically is the phone. With phone, although it can be effective for cold outreach, depending on your industry, with the phone, you usually want to use data from your video, your email, and your LinkedIn outreach to tell you when you should make a phone call. You want to be able to map out actions that people have taken earlier in the funnel before you pick up the phone and use a lot of time to make phone calls. So, it could be somebody accepted a connection request or replied to you, but maybe haven't quite gotten back to you in terms of a meeting, or somebody that's opened and clicked an email, or they viewed one of your video prospecting messages, but they just haven't booked with you. Those are the types of people that you want to pick up the phone and make a call to, because they probably just got busy. And so the phone is going to be effective for those reasons. And again, you can use it for cold outreach, but just manage everything by data and you'll know which platforms and mediums to use. I'm not going to map out all these conversions for you. Again, leave a comment down below if you want access to this. The last one, aside from retargeting in terms of all these mediums, is paid advertising. Paid advertising is something that can be extremely hard if you're not used to running paid advertising and don't know how to use proper funnel structure. It's probably one of the last things that I would implement. And so if you want to focus on the outbound prospecting first and sort of validate your offer and your messaging, then you can use paid advertising to supplement that. But you want to make sure that you do a proper funnel and you're utilizing proper techniques to maximize your conversions. It can eat up money really, really fast if you're not doing it right. And you have to be patient with it. You can't expect to put $100 in and all of a sudden you're going to have customers flocking to you. This stuff takes time, and don't get discouraged early on. Just keep your budget early on, something that you can afford and you can handle and you're okay with. And then just keep, tweaking and optimizing your funnel every step of the way. But just some high level advice from that, Facebook, obviously Google, YouTube, and LinkedIn are some of your main platforms. And you usually want to start with some sort of bait piece in your advertising. And that's going to be, some sort of free value you're giving them in exchange for maybe an email or in exchange for maybe booking a demo of some sort. And so, use sort of that concept and get people, interested in sort of some sort of concept of a value that you can add to them, and then from there you can retarget them and remarket to them, as you see fit. But if you haven't done paid advertising in the past, I definitely suggest that you look for some help out there instead of starting yourself, whether that is, just looking up some YouTube videos or something. If you need some referrals or references to some people that are experts in paid advertising, again, leave a comment down below. I am happy to refer you over to the people and the resources I know. I don't get any benefit, no kickbacks from them. So I'm happy to do that. Just leave a comment. So again, paid ads, I'm not going to go through the whole funnel process. More so just want to, talk with you about all these channels and, kind of get to the end goal numbers and stuff. With all of these, you want to make sure that you're retargeting. I've mentioned it a couple times, but you got to make sure that you have a process in place to follow up and nurture and retarget all these people. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. If you're not retargeting, most of your new customers and sales, pretty much all of them, are going to come through some sort of form of follow-up or retargeting. So if you're not doing it, you're really going to shoot yourself in the foot, and your customer acquisition costs are going to be through the roof. So make sure you're doing it on all platforms. So that's the process, and that's the main areas that we focus on for B2B. So in recap, we've got LinkedIn, we've got email, we've got video, we've got phone, and we've got paid ads, and of course our retargeting. And if you're just starting out, you likely want to focus, if you're going just from relying on maybe networking and referrals, you probably just want to focus on one of these channels to start, so you don't get too overwhelmed. Go to one channel, start in that, and then once you sort of have that mastered and you have the bandwidth and you've automated your process and gotten really efficient with your time, then get into another one and just add layers and layers and layers. And eventually all of this stuff should really be automated using, obviously software and technology to do that. So if you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate you, liking the video, subscribing to our channel. And if you're interested in automating this process and being really efficient with your time, then check out Uptics Sales Automation software. It's our software platform that helps you automate a lot of this stuff in each of the prospecting channels and keep you really, really efficient so that you can focus on taking care of your customers and closing deals. So again, I hope you found this valuable, and we'll see you in the next one.